Alright, what's going on, everybody? On my way home, starting my vacation, so I don't have to go back to work till next Wednesday. So I'm really finna cook this weekend, man. I'm gonna do a lot of different things with the channel. I'm gonna put out a lot of content, run a lot of errands as well too. So that's gonna be good for me. So love when I have a few days off to rest and just chill, kick back. But yeah, I needed to talk some boxing because I just cannot get over like the landscape of boxing. Like it's just really at an all-time worst, not all-time high, all-time worst because of the politics, people lying, just a lot of clown shit that's like going on in boxing. And it's a shame that these fighters have no idea what they're doing to boxing, that they're secretly, inadvertently destroying boxing, But, I mean, it is what it is. But let me begin right quick. I ain't gonna stay too long on this subject because, I don't want to give this dude more attention than he deserves. But since he got a boxing match coming up like in about a month or something, Jake Paul, aka Fake Paul, who got basically busted by the feds because he had some weapons in his house and basically faking like he was a protester when he was really out there looting. And the footage has surfaced of him in a mall anyway. And I'm trying to figure out how you protest in a mall. And of course, he was trying to pull that he was doing research. But a lot of people believe that he started some riots and that he was just doing what everybody else was doing, stealing. And this is what I kept saying about the whole protest. That a lot of these Caucasians that call themselves out there protesters was out there either spreading the Rona, stealing, looting, vandalizing, and trying to make it look like it was black people and purposely destroying black-owned businesses. And like I said, Jake Paul just showed what he was, just a typical fake white boy. And I hope Nate Robinson, like, what I'm saying, like cave his face in. I can't stand dudes like him. Dude ain't nothing but a culture vulture. And that's what, I mean, that's what he is. Real talk. He a cornball. And he worse than his brother. But for real, dude is a goofy and a lame. I mean, just another cornball white boy. Culture vulture. Fake as hell. But that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about him. But let me talk about I want to talk about Canelo. What's up? Because Canelo is starting to show what a clown he is, and a crybaby and a sore loser. And this is why I don't respect Canelo, because at the end of the day, this man's still making excuses. And him and Manny Pacquiao ain't no different from each other. That's why I keep saying that they need to fight. Now that it's the first week, the first week of August is ending, and Canelo still don't have no opponent. Now, I heard they was interested in the Demetrius Andrade fight, but they saying the zone they don't want that fight. And as I was saying, Demetrius Andrade is just, wow. I mean, he just can't catch a break. So if the zone don't want to make that fight, the zone should just let him go. Let him go. Let him go sign with either Top Rank or let him go sign with, with the PBC. If they don't want him to fight Canelo, then why do they have him? Why did they sign him? I think the real intention was for them to set him up with Triple G, but Triple G wouldn't take that fight. So, Triple G basically sitting up waiting around for Canelo for a third fight, and then in between a third fight with Canelo, he gonna do what he do best, which is fight his gas station attendants and his McDonald's workers that he used to fight. But the gig has been up with Triple G. Now people know the dude is a fraud, and most of his fans know it. They only go-to move is, oh, we just hating. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, you got Canelo still not being a man and accepting his loss to Floyd Mayweather, still making excuses, talking about, he don't consider that a loss and all that type of stuff, and that it was just, basically him being in class and all that. Man, you got beat. You got whooped. You got whooped. You got beat from pillar to post. In most people's eyes, you lost every round. There's 2 rounds at best that you could make a slight argument that you might at least possibly won. But it was pretty much a shutout. Dominant performance by Floyd Mayweather, and this dude still making excuses 7 years later. And they do this all the time, and then his fans is doing the same thing, enabling him to make excuses by saying, well, he wasn't ready, but he had 40 fights in. It's just always excuse after excuse to try to discredit the black fighter. Same thing with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao got dominated by Floyd Mayweather. And then he came up with that absurd shoulder excuse injury, and we all know he didn't have no shoulder injury. This is why, like I said, this is why Manny Pacquiao and Canelo need to fight each other. And it's funny that they, you had the fans that'll say Floyd is a diva, but what is Manny Pacquiao? What is Canelo? Where Canelo want to weight drain you. He want to control how much you weigh before the fight, after the fight. He want, I mean, it's just like, good grief. And then Manny Pacquiao. Now his latest stunt is, if he can't get the Mikey Garcia fight, well, now he's talking about the Triple G fight. But hold up. He wants Triple G to try to come down to 147. Now, everybody knows I can't stand Triple G. Well, I ain't going to say I can't stand him because I don't know the man, but I'm not a fan of Triple G. But you out trying to weight drain this dude and try to get him to come down to 147, a weight he has never fought at. From my knowledge, he's always been a middleweight. I mean, that wouldn't even be, I mean, for real, that would just be a travesty. And let Floyd Mayweather try some shit like that. But Manny Pacquiao fans will say, well, Manny's the A-side. If he wants to fight, then that's what man, come on, man. Triple G can't make no 147. But, Manny Pacquiao, he got a history of doing that, weight draining his opponents. He did it to Oscar. He did it to Miguel Cotto. He did it to Margarito. He tried to do it to Sergio Martinez. Now he wants to do it to Triple G. I wouldn't even waste my time watching no fight like. And the funny part about it is, Manny Pacquiao still might get whooped. Still might get knocked out. Like Manny Pacquiao at the point where he trying to find a big payday and a low risk fight. He don't want to fight Bud. He don't want to fight Errol Spence. Really probably don't want to fight Sean Porter. As I said before, if Manny Pacquiao would just give up that WBA belt, then like I said, I would leave him alone. But as long as he holding that belt, then I'm gonna stay on this helmet. He don't want to take no fights like that. And how long is we gonna have to hear that? Well, he can fight whoever he want. Like I said, he can fight whoever he want, but give up that damn belt and stop trying to weight drain everybody. I mean, Manny Pacquiao is the catchweight king. The catchweight, the weight draining. I mean, like I said, you want a dude to come in at 147. You really trying to have that dude to where he just like, man, for real. I don't even think Triple G could make 147. But this is what I mean by he ain't serious. He ain't trying to fight Triple G. And Triple G would be a fool. I mean, when I say Triple G would be a fool to sign up for a fight like that, he deserved, if he do that, if he let Manny Pacquiao pimp him into coming in at 147, he deserved to get beat. He deserved whatever happened to him. For real. But Manny Pacquiao know he has no chance with Triple G at 160. So he says 147, and he knows Triple G can't make 147. So to me, he just clout chasing, and he full of shit. You just gotta say it. He ain't really trying to fight Triple G. He's capping again. For real. The dude is capping, and people need to accept it. Like I said, him and Canelo should just fight, because at the end of the day, both of them would try to weight drain each other or whatever. So it would make for an interesting fight. But the thing is, what weight class could they meet at? What type of catch weight could they, what type of common ground could they find to where this fight could happen? I keep saying this is the fight that they need to make. It's a big payday. Because Canelo don't have no fight date. That man ain't not gonna make that September fight. This is why I know that he gonna end up leaving the zone probably real soon. He has nobody to fight. And then the possible opponents, you got one that's willing in Demetrius Andrade, but then Smith and then all the other people, they just seem not to be interested. Then Charlo, he already, he's already attached to another fight. They don't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. So, I mean, what is there for this dude to do? I'm just keeping it 100. But like I said, Canelo, I don't feel sorry for him because he did this to himself. He went to a streaming app that 300 and something million looked real promising, but at the end of the day, he knew based off the zone's roster and match room, there wasn't much of what you would call a good selection. So if people looking at Canelo funny, it's his own fault. He decided to go this route, so now he has to live with it. He knew the zone and match room didn't have what you would call a desirable roster. He knew most of the good fights for him was at PBC. And he went another direction, so now look what's going on now. And let's just face the fact, Canelo hasn't given us the best fights with the zone. They've been okay fights, but they haven't been the best fights. Okay, okay, the Daniel Jacob fight. Yeah, that was an okay fight. The Sergey Kovalev fight, a lot of people believe that fight was fixed. Then you have, damn, I already forgot what that dude's name was. Dude, he fought in New York. That just goes to show you how much of a fight that was. Nobody cared about that fight. That was supposed to be for a fake title. So once again, the zone experience ain't been that good for Canelo. And you just got to keep it 100. It hasn't. And this is why I know when it's all said and done, he probably gonna part ways with the zone. Keep in mind, Canelo is 30 years old now. And he's been in a lot of fights. Canelo could possibly age overnight. He could have that moment where he just aged and looked real bad in one fight. Because he got a lot of wear and tear on him. This man got like 50 fights at age 30. Now, whether the competition was what you would call stellar, at the end of the day, he been in the ring like 50 times. That's a lot of fights. That's just real talk. But like I said, him and Manny Pacquiao, they should fight, because we already know there ain't gonna be no random drug testing. If it was up to both of them, that'll be perfect. That'll be ideal for them. But you know how many don't like taking random drug tests. And we already know what's up with Canelo. And due to the fact Canelo got a pass from the WBC to where he can eat some of that mystery meat and be fine, then hey, it's all good, man. So yeah, I mean, for real, they should just fight each other. It's an ideal fight. They need to find some common ground with the weight. Don't have to worry about random drug testing. And then they should just get it on. And then beat the shit out of each other. But I think Canelo would win that fight. But, like I said, Manny Pacquiao is just really, he looking bad right now. He looking bad. He looking like a dude, like what I've been saying. He trying to find a big payday with a low-risk fight. At the end of the day, people bitch, whine, and moan about the dudes that Bud should fight, shouldn't fight, could have fought. He don't have this type of resume. But like I keep saying, I've never seen a dude that got a belt and nobody calls him out. But then people bitch, whine, and moan about the people that he's fighting. Like I said before, nobody can explain to me why Danny Garcia, who the number one contender for the WBO belt, he won't take a title shot. He didn't have to wait for Errol Spence. He could have been fought Bud. For real. Like I said, he the one. I don't understand that. You can't bitch about somebody's resume and say that somebody ain't fought nobody, but then nobody won't fight him. Nobody won't turn. I mean, for real. Sean say that he'll fight Bud, but he want to get this. He want to get this tune-up fight in first. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. If you want to get a tune-up because you haven't fought since September, yeah, that's fine. I can deal with that. But what about the other dudes? So nobody can. Yeah, I already. I'm trying to tell you, man, that fight gonna happen. I'm trying to tell you that fight gonna happen. Tiafimo gonna accept that deal. Do Tiafimo go? I'm telling you right now, if Tiafimo don't accept that fight, he gonna get shelved. I'm telling you right now, he gonna get shelved. He gonna take the fight. I don't even know why dude like playing them games. He has no choice but to take that fight. And then as far as Devin Haney go, um, that's unfortunate. But that's what I mean by Bob Arum is not gonna outsource anybody like Gary Russell Jr. or Devin Haney. This is why I know that they gonna take that fight. Tiafimo is gonna take that fight. I promise you that. And if he don't, his ass gonna be And if he don't, he gonna be in the same situation with Mikey Garcia. I promise you that. I promise you that he gonna be in the same. His ass gonna get put on the shelf. So he would not want to piss Bob Arum off. Not while this is going on. Not while this pandemic shit is going on. So he gonna take that. He gonna take that fight. If he don't, and Bob Arum have to like bring in bring bring in a replacement and bring in another top ranked fighter, Teofimo Lopez gonna be in deep shit. Well, can somebody tell me what other fight that's out there for him where he gonna make $1.2 million? Right now, $1 million right now for during a pandemic, that's real good money right now. That's real good money. Whether you like it or not, Lomachenko is the semi bigger name, and it's not like Lomachenko got much of a fan base neither. But when it comes to popularity, Lomachenko is a little more known than Teofimo Lopez. Because at the end of the day, this is going to be a pay-per-view fight. But what type of numbers is you expecting a fight like this to do? This is why Bob Arum think he going to lose money on this fight if he have to pay Teofimo Lopez any more money. Because more than likely, you looking at this fight being like at best $50. Okay, so you hoping at the very least you want to sell at least like you hoping at best you could get 300,000 pay-per-views. Tio needs at least 3 million. Oh my god. Man, dude, don't do this. Stop it. Dude, please stop it. Don't come on here with that bullshit. We talking serious boxing talk now, bro. I'm gonna have somebody clap your ass. So talk like you got some, bro. Talk like you got some sense. For real. Well, Lomo is a little bit more popular, and people consider Lomachenko. I don't consider Lomachenko a pound for pound fighter. I don't think he's number one whatsoever. I think by default he's like a top 10, but I don't think he's no number one. Who real talk, dude? Like who is Teofimo beat to warrant him getting $3 million? He wouldn't even get $3 million if it was if it wasn't a pandemic. Well, I don't pay attention to nothing that ESPN put up. Well, I never said Lomachenko wasn't overrated. I guess you just now came to my channel. I said Lomachenko was extremely overrated. ESPN totally looked over the fact that he lost to basically a dude. Orlando Salido does Uber in his part time when he isn't fighting. He lost to an Uber driver with double-digit losses. But Lomachenko is the more popular fighter. Barely. And I do mean barely. Lomachenko lost. I want that to register through people's head. He lost to a dude that drives Uber. He lost to a dude that drives Uber and has double-digit losses. Now, Lomachenko is supposed to be getting 3, and Teofimo is supposed to be getting 1.2. So you basically talking about roughly around, like, I guess a $4.5, close to $5 million purse. I never said Lomachenko was an all-time. Yeah, Lomachenko was. I said he a top 10. I never said he was number 1. But I'm saying nobody really ain't heard of Teofimo Lopez. Like, you can't come out the gate and be talking about you want $3 million. When it come down to resume, the fight before Richard Comey, you didn't look that good. Okay, you had a great sensational knockout over Richard Comey. Okay, so that don't elevate you to like, okay, now I'm a top tier fighter, because you still relatively unknown. Now, for the last 3 years, they've been trying to push Lomachenko, but the thing is with Lomachenko can't even sell out. Couldn't even sell out the. He couldn't even sell out the theater at Madison Square Garden. You talking about a dude where he fought at the Staples Center, and the whole top upper deck was, for real. It wasn't hardly nobody at the Staples Center. I went to that fight. I covered that fight. But what I'm saying is, he's a little bit more popular, like the casual, I would say a little bit above casual boxing fan know who he is. Like, I'm a diehard boxing fan, so I know who he is. But he ain't nobody you can walk up to in the mall and be like, you heard of Vasily Lomachenko? They're gonna be like, who? And it's the same thing with Canelo. Canelo ain't as popular as they make him out to be. The funny part about it is Wilder is more popular than what people think he is. People heard of Wilder. Lomachenko has terrible TV ratings, and this is what I'm saying. This is why I'm saying Bob Arum is getting mad at. This is why Bob Arum is getting mad at Teofimo. He think he pushing the limit by giving him 1.2 million. You got to look at it. You got to look at this from a financial standpoint. You're not going to be able to sell the fight for $89 to try to make up for what you not going to sell in pay-per-views. By like saying like you want to make, you're not going to be able to raise the price and get a return and say, okay, well, we going to sell the fight for like $89, and if we could get like 200,000, then we turn to profit. This fight is going to be pay-per-view, and then it still may not have like a crowd. So this is why Bob Arum is pissed, because Bob Arum to be honest with you, Bob Arum is just hoping to break even with this fight. That's why he said he don't want to take an L with this fight. He's looking, I'm telling you. That's all I'm saying. So you sell less for the worst case scenario. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they know who Wilder is. I think Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko with I don't know. I don't want to compare it to this type of fight because Lomachenko still got that loss to an Uber driver. But this is sort of like a low budget version of, and I do mean low budget version. I'm talking about flea market swap meet, fake Jordan version of Floyd and Canelo, almost. But it's like very generic, very swap meet like. That's basically what they trying to do. So they're hoping. What they're doing is they're hoping, like, man, if we get like $50, they probably praying that they could at least get. They praying that they probably could hopefully get maybe 175. And I don't need, and that's a big if. Nah, man, that's a low budget Keith Thurman. Yeah, I know they gonna go. Who he called a low budget Keith Thurman? Well, shit, I don't even think he. nah, nah, nah. Like I said, it's just like a swap meet version of with the the swap meet, and you go to the Asian people that got those blatantly fake Jordans, those blatantly fake Air Force Ones. I'm talking about the just you can't even pretend that they not you know what I'm saying. You can't even pretend. But that's what this is. That's what this is like. This is like a flea market swap meet version of Floyd versus Canelo. Like the crafty veteran versus the up and coming fighter. The so-called up and coming superstar. Now I know Buddy McGirt said out of the new young guns that he thought that Teofimo Lopez might be the best one. I think Devin Haney is the one who got the most upside. I really do. I think Devin Haney got the most upside out of all the young guns. I really do. That I'm just keeping it 100. But Buddy is entitled to his opinion. But I think Devin Haney out of the Teofimo Lopez's, all those type of dudes, the Ryan Garcia's, Tank Davis, I think Devin Haney and Shakur, well, Shakur is up there too. Shakur is up there too. But I just think Devin Haney got the most upside. I think Shakur is gonna be a very good fighter. I think he's gonna be a very, very good fighter. But I just think Deb got the most upside. I think Devin Haney could become a superstar in boxing. I don't think he'll be the next Floyd Mayweather. Like I said, there won't ever be another Floyd Mayweather, good or bad. Like him or hate him, whatever. All right, you guys. Thanks for listening. I'll be back later on.